The following is produced by 5 Star Productions USA, which is solely responsible for its editorial content and is sponsored in part by a grant from Paul Mitchell Salon Hair Care.
We're running out of gas. If the world continues to use oil at its present rate, estimates say we'll use it all up in about 50 years. That means we need to develop more alternative energy sources soon, or we'll really be running on empty. Hi, I'm Ed Begley Jr., and this is today's Environment. We're here at Walt Disney World, Florida, and Epcot at Innoventions, a showcase of near-future products and technologies, and it's a perfect place to launch this show where we examine how great ideas and new technologies are helping us solve today's environmental questions. Christopher Columbus may have sailed under the Spanish flag, but he was Italian, and his courage proved the earth was round. Now that shapes the key to saving the earth. The circle or loop signifies recycling. By using things over and over again, we may help our earth to keep going around too. Here's an example.
Most people love the feel of a new carpet, but after years of wear and tear, it's pretty clear that no carpeting can last forever.
You know, each year, about 750 million square yards of carpeting comes off the floors and heads for its final installation at the nearest landfill. Now that amounts to about 1% by weight of the total municipal solid waste load.
Hopefully this wasteful trend will go out of style very soon and used carpet recycling will come into vogue. Innovative recycling technology by Monsanto, like this system for nylon carpets, may give new life to the resources in old carpets. At United Recycling's Minneapolis facility, used nylon carpet comes in and enters a proprietary system that processes all components, including the nylon face fiber, latex, and backing. The system transforms them into thermoplastic pellets. The pellets can then be enhanced or compounded with other additives. This improves their properties, such as strength when combined with glass, or to make them more ductile when blended with rubber. The resulting raw material can be used in many thermoplastic applications. Currently, the plastic that results from this process is being evaluated for a variety of automotive and industrial applications. Like any new technology, much work still needs to be done before it can be applied on a massive scale. But if markets can be developed and costs controlled, used carpet recycling holds the potential to relieve landfills of nearly 9.4 million cubic yards of waste per year. This used carpet recycling technology came about as part of an all-encompassing company plan for better environmental stewardship. Manufacturing with components that recycle easier and finding secondary uses for waste products stand out as some important environmental accomplishments from the program.
About 70% of new carpet that's sold is going into what we call the replacement market, which means that that much carpet's being taken up, either out of an office building or out of a home, and that old carpet goes to the landfill.
Right now, the average nylon carpet stays on a floor for 10 to 12 years and can remain in a landfill for centuries.
Our industry association, the Carpet and Rug Institute, is working now to label carpet, primarily so that it can be better identified as to what material the old carpet is.
Advanced technology combined with innovative thinking holds the key to dramatically extending the useful life of all the valuable natural resources that make their first stop in a nylon carpet.
If we can transform our old rugs into new products, well then, even if they're tired, worn, and dirty, environmentally at least, they may still be magic carpets.
The Exxon Valdez oil spill was bad for the planet. But people who change their oil at home and just throw it away are even worse, 11 times worse. Those quarts of oil add up to disaster. Please take your used oil to an oil recycling center and get involved with today's environment today.
Where is everybody going? On the average, we all drive about 10,000 miles every year, and every gallon of gas sends about 20 pounds of carbon dioxide into the air. If we can't drive less, can we drive cleaner? This may be one way.
It's an undying passion, America's love affair with the automobile. We own most of the world's vehicles. On average, the 140 million cars in America travel about 4 billion miles a day and burn over 200 million gallons of gasoline doing it.
That means every day another 4 billion pounds of carbon dioxide emissions get released into our atmosphere from automobiles alone. And the state of California refused to accept that deluge of exhaust and crack down with the most stringent air quality guidelines in the nation.
Both the Environmental Protection Agency and the California Air Resources Board now require that petroleum refiners manufacture cleaner burning gasolines. At this petroleum refinery, operated by Ultramar, a clean fuels project proceeds at full speed. Researchers have developed cleaner burning formulations and expect to be producing the first generation of clean fuels well before the federal deadline. These gasolines will contain 2/3 to 1/2 less smog-forming components. That means they should release fewer volatile organic compounds and discharge less emissions that cause ozone. The California Air Resources Board estimates that reformulated gasolines will reduce ozone-causing auto emissions by at least 25%. But concern for the environment does not simply stop at producing a lower emission product. Since this plant operates in the heart of the Los Angeles metropolitan area, Ultramar must take California's stringent air pollution guidelines seriously. Producing cleaner burning fuels requires more combustion in the refining process, so step one of the Clean Fuels project included installing the most advanced pollution control scrubbing equipment available. Company officials point to their refinery's clean operation that allows the plant to run at capacity and still conform to the state's rigid air controls. They cite energy efficiency as one of the keys to their environmentally sensitive production process. And even water conservation receives top priority so that this facility can function with as little impact on the local ecology as possible. Air cooling, instead of water-cooled processes, saves an enormous amount of fresh water, so precious in the Southern California region. Minimizing emissions at both the production and consumption levels of gasoline and other fuels helps reduce the environmental impact of the combustion.
Without combustible fuels, our modern-day society would probably screech to a halt. But now there may be a better way to harness the power of these fires without exhausting our air supply.
In a moment, on today's Environment, the Kalina power cycle, what it means to our environment, plus a nationwide chain becomes a local hero. Next.
Inefficiency costs all of us. Up to 75% of the electricity produced in the U.S. is wasted through inefficient motor, lights, and appliances. How do we get more out of what we use? This next segment explores that.
Every year, America sends nearly $24 billion up in smoke. The best of the world's driven power plants are based on William Rankine's 1840 steam cycle designs, and at best operate at only 35 to 40% efficiency. That's a pretty small return from the $40 billion we invest in fuel every year to produce power. But now, the first successful design change in 140 years may boost that efficiency by 20% or more. This is the first power plant ever to use the Kalina power cycle developed by Exergy Incorporated and invented by Dr. Alexander I. Kalina. Conventional power plants use high-pressure superheated steam to turn large turbines and generate power. Even at high pressures, water boils at a constant, relatively low temperature, but the heat produced by a power plant's fuel is hotter. This is a major cause of a plant's inefficiency. The Kalina cycle uses a mixture of ammonia and water to permit boiling over a wide range of temperatures to improve the match. A 70%, 30% mixture of ammonia and water boils at a lower temperature than water alone. As the ammonia boils off first, the boiling temperature of the remaining mixture rises. As the match between fuel temperature and steam temperature is improved, so is the plant's efficiency. The superheated vapor expands from very high pressure to low pressure across a turbine to generate electric power. After the turbine, the Kalina cycle's unique capabilities of using the remaining heat in the vapor and varying the composition of the mixture have the effect of lowering the turbine's exit pressure. This increases the amount of work generating more electricity. If the United States could adopt this technology in every plant, it might save $6 billion in fuel costs and reduce emissions by 15%. According to sources at Exergy, the Kalina power cycle can improve the efficiency of a natural gas power plant's bottom cycle by 15 to 30%. That translates to a 6 to 12% increase for the entire plant. Plans to incorporate the technology into the waste heat recovery cycle of these plants are being made by General Electric. This technology can increase efficiency of geothermal power plants by approximately 40%, and many sites that were not hot enough for conventional technology will now become viable energy options. To harness this potential, Ansaldo Energia plans to use the Kalina process at new geothermal plants worldwide. The Kalina cycle improves efficiency at the source, the power plant, and that's where the most returns can be realized. Making more out of less. In an environment with limited resources, this breakthrough offers infinite possibilities.
By adding one person in every commuter car, we'd cut the carbon dioxide gases that cause global warming by 12 million pounds a day. Hey, that makes it very cool to carpool. Get involved with today's environment today.
Where has all the oil gone? Unfortunately, into our water. Some estimates note as much as 40% of the pollutants in our waterways come from discarded crankcase oil. This next segment may have a way to change that.
This one's for you. If you're an owner of one of the 140 million automobiles in America, your vehicle could potentially contribute to several different types of pollution. How you drive and maintain your car has an enormous impact on the environment. So, are you a part of the cure? Well, let's look closer. Tires, oil, air conditioners, gasoline, and most areas under the hood can add up to make your vehicle either planet-friendly or a major polluter. Consumer automotive stores can offer many ways to help you maximize the efficiency of your car and minimize its impact on the environment. Pep Boy Supercenters accept used motor oil for recycling. Their service centers also recycle 1 million oil filters annually. This effort alone diverts over 2 million gallons of crankcase oil from our landfills and groundwater every year. Considering Americans use about 1 billion gallons of motor oil per year, recycling this resource can be a major plus to the environment. Discarded tires should never go to a landfill. Pep Boys recycles over 1.5 million tires per year. They reclaim about that many car batteries, 500,000 gallons of antifreeze, and they even send over 30,000 tons of corrugated cardboard back to the pulp mills. How's your air conditioner working? Did you know leaky automobile air conditioners are the single largest source of CFC emissions in the United States? Certified technicians using EPA-approved refrigerant recovery and recycling equipment can service an air conditioner and keep CFC-based R12 refrigerants from the atmosphere. A properly tuned car uses about 9% less gasoline and therefore generates less emissions per mile driven. Even proper tire inflation can improve your gas mileage. So you see, if every one of us who owns and operates an automobile makes an effort to keep that machine in top running condition, we could each dramatically reduce our individual contribution to the world's air pollution. And if we can responsibly dispose of or recycle our worn-out fluids and parts, well, we can minimize landfill waste and cut down on the environmental blight that those items can cause. With over 140 million cars roaming the highway, a nationwide chain of automotive stores that can help reduce the impact of those vehicles may actually be a true local hero. Cleaners we use don't have to take the environment to the cleaners, plus precision flame grills that use less propane. Both reports next on Today's Environment.
Not long ago, a scrub brush, a little elbow grease were some of the best cleaners you could use. Modern detergents made cleaning a little easier on us, but a lot tougher on the environment, especially our oceans and rivers. This next segment explores one way we might change that.
You may not know it, but what you use to wash your bathroom may be taking the environment to the cleaners. Soap scum, hard water spots, mold, and mildew. They all thrive and flourish in moist bathroom conditions. Most people agree these soils are a nuisance, but actually they could be an ecological nightmare.
Phosphates, chlorine, strong acids, and other chemicals that we use to clean them may be some of the biggest environmental offenders. In fact, over half of the phosphates found in our lakes and streams come from household detergents.
Phosphates cause algae bloom, which can choke the oxygen right out of a healthy stream or lake. And without oxygen, nothing survives in that water. Other cleaners use chlorine to help scrub out stains and make surfaces shine. But chlorine gases released into the atmosphere can create volatile organic compounds and destroy ozone molecules. The increased UV radiation that could penetrate down to Earth has many worried about health risks and skin diseases. Some household cleaner manufacturers are trying to formulate new products that can wreak havoc on tough soils, yet remain harmless to the environment. One new tub and tile cleaner, Eliminate, developed by Hurt Consumer Products, combines the cleaning power of several different chemicals into a biodegradable formula. It penetrates soils so they separate from the bathroom surface. All you have to do is spray it on and wipe it off. No scrubbing required. The zero-phosphate chlorine-free detergent washes down the drain and degrades safely in the environment. Sources at Hurt Consumer Products point to the Green Cross awarded to Eliminate by Scientific Certification Systems for being biodegradable into carbon dioxide, water, and basic minerals. The non-toxic, non-corrosive formula can be very gentle on skin and does not release any harmful fumes. Since the formula contains no abrasives, it eliminates the risk of scratching and damaging tile. Even the unique fragrance chemistry can break down naturally with no adverse environmental effects, making it the only certified biodegradable product with a fragrance.
You know, cleanup day at home no longer has to be D-Day for the environment. If we can use phosphate-free, chlorine-free cleaners that are still hell on dirt, we may be able to preserve a little heaven here on Earth.
Portable energy. Disposable and rechargeable batteries can help run down the environment. They contain heavy metals that leach into the ground. Recycle them, don't trash them. Now here's another good idea.
The more things change, the more things stay the same. Back in the Stone Age, humans learned to cook over an open flame. And today, open flame cooking on a barbecue grill is still something of a national pastime. But not everything remains the same. Now we know that combustion and the environment don't always mix. Some fuels burn cleaner than others and release fewer emissions into the air. Leading outdoor cooking specialist Charbroil realizes the impact of their product and processes on the environment. In an effort to maximize fuel efficiency, they recently introduced a line of precision flame grills that use 20 to 30% less propane. Propane stands out as their fuel of choice because it burns cleaner than other forms of barbecue fuel, like charcoal or wood. Making their product more environmentally friendly emerged as part of their ongoing program to minimize their total impact on the Earth. Their manufacturing processes became the primary target of this pollution reduction strategy. Barbecue grills consist of many metal parts, like sheet metal and aluminum castings. Each one of these parts must be painted or coated, and that process used to be the source of unacceptable emissions due to volatile organic compounds, or VOCs, released from the paints. Recent process modifications, however, successfully met the emissions challenge. This powder coating process releases no VOCs whatsoever. But this process does not work well on all metals, and some liquid painting must still be used. Recently, the company implemented a program to substitute waterborne paints for the VOC heavy solvent-based ones. Since electrostatic transfer is utilized to improve coating efficiency, the excellent conductivity of water became a challenge. It simply would not hold a charge long enough to be attracted to the oppositely charged metal surface. Significant modifications to the equipment combined with custom formulations of coatings were required to make the process work. The overall program succeeded in reducing the company's VOC emissions by about 60%, while production output nearly doubled. Engineers targeted both their process and their product for environmental improvements. Although they manufacture gas grills associated with good food and fun, Charbroil realizes that their operations can have a serious impact on the environment and continuously work to improve beyond mere adherence to regulations. The backyard barbecue can add a little recreation and relaxation to the everyday chore of cooking, or give a gourmet the grill to create a masterpiece. But whether you're barbecuing burgers or flame broiling that pheasant, any meal goes down better when the process of cooking it doesn't harm the environment.
Here at the American Pavilion within Epcot at the Walt Disney World Resort, it's clear why most of us Americans take pride in our country being a leader in many areas. But unfortunately, we're also leading the world in many forms of pollution. The United States has 5% of the world's population, but we emit about 23% of the carbon dioxide emissions that could cause global warming. We can become a leader in environmental improvement, but it will take a real commitment from all of us. The Earth needs your support, and I hope this show made you aware of that. Join us again next time as we explore more environmental solutions on Today's Environment.
If you know of any interesting environmental success stories, call us at 407-997-9800. To purchase a complete written transcript or a videotape copy of this or any edition of Today's Environment, write to this address or call 1-800-877-7769. The preceding program was sponsored in part by a grant from Paul Mitchell Salon Hair Care. This has been a presentation of 5 Star Productions USA.